Are you an animal lover? Do you hate any type of animal violence, whether it's people being cruel to animals, animals being cruel to animals? Do you just hate anything that hurts poor, defenseless, cute animals? And do you think overall that humans suck and animals are the best thing in the world? Well, if you think that, I have one thing to say to you. Strays is not for you, because there's plenty of that in here. Now, if you can separate the reality from the fiction, then you might be able to enjoy this movie, because there is plenty of fun, laughable moments in this movie, but there is also a lot of things that will probably hit you the wrong way. But with that being said, for Fandom University, this is Unedited Reviews, Strays. Now, going into this film, I thought, oh, it's going to be funny. It's a comedy. It's animals talking. It's Will Ferrell. It's Jamie Foxx. And it's about a very bad person who doesn't like his dog, tries to get rid of him, and his dog decides, I'm going to bite his balls off. Sounds like a lot of fun. And the shenanigans that they get into. Well, I'm here to say there's plenty of that. But there's also so much more than just that. Some of it could be seen as good, and some of it could be seen as bad. Let's start with the positives. Right off the bat, the humor, when the humor's there, when it's focused on being a comedy, it is actually pretty funny. The types of shenanigans that the animals, that the dogs get into, is really funny, and getting to see the world from their perspective. Yet again, I know we've seen it before, but it feels like there's different ideas this time around. For example, without getting into spoilers, the idea of why humans collect a dog's poo. That's in here. And why the dogs think it is pretty funny, actually. The voice talent, again, Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx playing the main two dogs, is fantastic. I apologize, I don't remember the entire cast that voices all the different dogs, but they are all fantastic. They're funny, they're engaging, they actually have personality. There's a story to why they are the way they are. There's even a backstory for some of these dogs, and it works. And that all feeds into the overall idea, I think, of this film. The animation, as far as when the dogs are talking and stuff, that's pretty good. You know, it's nothing fantastic, but we've seen it before in other animal talking films. I admit, I did try to look. I'm like, okay, when is that a real dog? Is that a real dog there? But that was just me. I kind of couldn't help but do that. The human performances, they're good. They are the people you're supposed to enjoy and like, you like, and the one, I'm just going to say it. So I probably should have said this at first. I do apologize. There will be some word usage. I don't plan on swearing really too much. But this is an R-rated film, so kids should not go see this. That being said, the asshole who owns Will Ferrell's character, I can't remember the names. Yeah, he's a dick. He plays that character very well. You hate him from the very beginning. The reason he does what he does, unfortunately, that's the world we live in. This type of stuff actually happens. When it's just the dogs interacting with each other, when it's the dogs interacting with, I'll call them good human beings or half-decent human beings, it's a lot of fun. It's entertaining, and it's what you wanted. It's what you expect. So I feel like there's not really much I can say about, I mean, I could go into a lot of depth about every single character, every single dog, every single voice actor. But that's all good. It's all just generally good. It's fun, it's entertaining. They do a good job. They do what they need to do. And I don't feel like they do a bad job of it. They actually make you care about these dogs. Which, let's be honest, for a lot of people, caring about a dog is not really a hard thing to do. I mean, all you have to say is dead dog or John Wick. Instantly people are like, that guy's gotta die. As some people have said. Because you have to truly be a heartless person to really not care about how cute these animals are, or not care about animals in any form. But I'm not here to talk about that type of stuff. So this movie, for me, is very much a cross between Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey and an R-rated film like that. I'm just going to say maybe, I want to say Joker and Harley Quinn. Because part of this movie does deal with toxic relationships. And while you can see a lot, while they could have done, human toxic relationships, we've seen that before. And unfortunately, that is something that happens. Here, though, we focus on a different type of toxic relationship between humans and their pets. And we show the good side of humans and having pets, and we see the toxic side of it. And then we see the middle area too. And by what I mean by middle is where the humans aren't necessarily bad. They're just doing what they thought was right. You can't totally fault them for what they did. Because they're not here in this jerk, in this asshole, but they're not kind either. So it really does span multiple layers and multiple types of relationships between humans and animals, and then we get the animals and animals. I don't want to go too much into this, but there is one point, it's in the trailer, where the dogs get high on mushrooms. And they do see a lot of crazy stuff. And then one dog finds chew toys. Bunny chew toys. And yeah. I probably don't have to tell you what happens from there. This is the hardest part of the movie, I think, for me. Just because things they show, things that actually happen, it just, this is the type of thing I can't believe they actually did. Especially some of the things they show. Now, I do apologize if people take that as a spoiler, but I feel like it doesn't really, I didn't say too much, but I also feel like you need to know something like this is going to happen. It is kind of interesting when they start to talk about the dogs and their relationships to their humans, and you start to realize just how much they're going into this whole toxic relationship aspect of the dog and his owner they have. That really surprised me that they actually went there. I thought they were going to just make it a comedy, about, I hate my owner now, I'm going to go bite his dick off. I'm going to go bite his balls off. But it wasn't. So, yeah, they do a lot with it. There's a lot of darker elements in this movie that I did not expect. It's definitely more than a comedy. At times I would say it probably goes a little of a dark comedy, but not dark. I might call it a gray comedy. Now, there is plenty of good stuff. Plenty of people get their comeuppance in the end. Plenty of good things happen. There are plenty of laughs in it. It does give you in the long run what you want. But I feel like it does more than what you expected. And usually that can be a good thing. And here it is to a certain degree. Especially if you're not aware of this stuff. I mean, I don't know who isn't. But it's very clear that this was one of the main messages that whoever wrote this, I didn't look the screenwriter up, and the director probably wanted to come across. Who knows? Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. But this movie was much more disturbing to me than I expected it to be. I thought, oh, this is going to be funny. Like I said, it's going to be dog gets far away, owner leaves dog far away, dog tries to come back, learns his owner doesn't like him, wants to bite his dick off. That's all I thought it was going to be. But it's not. Again, there's still plenty of good humor, there's still plenty of good entertainment, but I feel like they should have at least hinted a little bit at some of the other stuff that's in this movie, in the trailers. But that being said, overall, would I recommend this movie? I'm still on the fence about it. Because when I went, stuff affected me, and I'm not like, I can separate reality from fantasy. And some people can't. And I still was like, oh, okay, maybe we shouldn't have done that. Maybe we should have done that a different way. Even though I'm not a screenwriter, I'm not a director. I don't know that stuff. But I feel like they needed to pick a direction with this. And personally, I would have gone more the comedy route. The way you led people to believe with the trailers. That's not to say the trailers misled anyone. All that stuff is in the movie. But what ranking would I give this? Well, I'd probably have to say civilian. Because half the movie I enjoyed, half the movie is funny, and the other half is just, okay, that's deep, that's dark. It moves along fine. There's really no moments where it really slows down. I mean, I guess you could say it slows down a little bit during these deep, thought-provoking moments. But it does do a good job of, you have a serious moment, okay, now we're going to hit you with the comedy for the next 15 minutes. Now we're going to hit you with 5 minutes of seriousness. Now we're going to hit you with 20 minutes of comedy. It does a pretty good job of balancing the two out. But it's not a movie that I am going to rush to see again. I'm glad I saw it, but I feel like there's probably other better comedies that came out this year. Probably plenty that I haven't gotten around to seeing. This one, though, yeah. I really think your enjoyment of this movie will depend on how much of an animal person you are and how much you can separate your actual feelings from the fact that this is just a movie. So with all that being said, what do you think? Have you seen Strays? I mean, it's been out for a while now. I know this is a late review. If so, what did you think about it? Did you get all this deep stuff that I got from it? Or did I totally see something that wasn't there? Or if you haven't seen it, has my thoughts on it made you want to see it, or made you kind of more iffy on it? Whatever your thoughts, comment down below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And until our next video, remember, read what you love, enjoy what you love, and let's all work for a better fandom. I'll see you next time.